You know that feeling, right? That sudden, almost electric jolt when you get a crush on someone? It feels like it just happens, totally out of the blue, almost like magic. But what if I told you it's not magic at all? What if it's actually one of the most sophisticated, high-speed data processing events your brain ever performs?
So, yeah, that's the big question we're really digging into here. Is it just a random lightning bolt? You know, the kind you see in the movies, where two people lock eyes and bam, that's it. Or is there something way deeper, something much more calculated, happening just beneath the surface?
Okay, so let's break this down. On one hand, you've got the romantic myth, the whole lightning bolt idea. It's spontaneous, it's unpredictable, and it feels completely out of your control. But then, you have the biological reality. And what the science is telling us is that getting a crush is actually more like a super fast data analysis. Your brain is scanning, processing, and evaluating a potential partner in literal milliseconds.
To really get this, think of the brain, especially the female brain in this context, not as some hopeless romantic, but as this incredibly efficient quality control manager. Its main job isn't just about finding someone attractive, it's about scanning for deep compatibility and, this is the big one, for safety. It's basically running a biological risk assessment at unbelievable speed.
So, what's the very first piece of data this quality control manager grabs? Well, you might be surprised to find out that it all starts with the nose. Yeah, let's talk about how your brain can literally smell a good match. It all comes down to this thing called the major histocompatibility complex, or MHC for short. Now, these are basically a set of genes that are super important for your immune system, and they also happen to create your unique body odor. You can't consciously smell it, but believe me, your subconscious brain is paying very close attention. It's kind of like a unique scent signature for your immune system. So why on earth does the brain care about MHC? Well, it's actually pretty genius from an evolutionary standpoint. Step 1. Your brain is trying to sniff out a partner who has a different MHC profile than you do. Step 2. This makes sure that any kids you might have would get a more diverse, more robust set of immune genes. And the ultimate goal, step 3, to create healthier offspring who can fight off a whole bunch of different diseases. It's this ancient survival program still running in the background of modern dating.
Okay, so the brain is sniffing out genetic data, but that's really just layer one. Next, it starts analyzing the chemical data, the stuff happening inside our own heads. Because, while attraction feels good, the brain is looking for way more than just a quick thrill. It's analyzing the actual chemistry of trust. So we've all heard of dopamine, right? It's the pleasure hormone. It's that rush, that reward that makes you feel excited and makes you want more. But the real key player here is oxytocin. People call it the bonding chemical. It's all about feelings of trust, safety, and deep connection. So if dopamine is the thrill of the chase, oxytocin is the feeling of coming home.
And this is a really critical distinction. For the female brain, which is super responsive to oxytocin, the question isn't just, hey, is he cute? The subconscious quality control manager is running a much deeper program. It's asking, can I trust this person? Do I feel safe with them? A crush really starts to solidify when the answer to that question starts to feel like a yes. All right, so your brain's done the scent check and the chemistry check. What's next? Well, now it moves on to external data. It starts running this high-speed social analysis. It's basically creating a subconscious simulation of what a future with this person might look like, all based on how they're acting right now. And what is it looking for in this little simulation? First, resource potential. Now, this isn't just about money. It's about signs of stability, intelligence, social standing. Second, and this is a huge one, emotional intelligence. How do they treat the waiter? How do they talk about their friends? Your brain is soaking all that up to predict how they'll treat you. And finally, there's something called the father template, where the brain sometimes uses the positive traits of a father figure as a kind of blueprint for what a safe, reliable partner looks like. So after all this data has been gathered, the scent, the chemistry, the social cues, the brain's quality control manager puts it all together and runs it against one final checklist. This is the moment a vague feeling becomes a full-on, undeniable crush. Before we look at the whole list, let's just take one specific example. Ever wonder why a deep or a steady voice can be so attractive? Well, it's not just about the sound itself. To your brain, it's another important data point. Okay, let's look at the full checklist. That deep, steady voice. Your brain interprets that as a sign of high testosterone and maturity. A great sense of humor? That's not just about being funny. The brain reads it as a sign of high intelligence and social skill.
Consistency is massive. When someone's behavior is predictable and stable, it literally calms down your brain's threat detector, the amygdala, which makes you feel safe. And finally, simple kindness. Your brain sees that as a powerful predictor for long-term attachment potential.
So, here's the bottom line. A crush feels like pure magic, but it isn't. It's your brain's incredibly sophisticated, data-driven intuition doing its job. It's a survival mechanism, fine-tuned over millions of years to help you make one of the biggest decisions of your life, all in the span of a single heartbeat.
Which really just leaves us with one last fascinating question to chew on. If our ancient biology is the one writing this incredibly detailed checklist for who we're attracted to, who's actually holding the pen? How much of our choice is pure instinct, and how much is really our own? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.